delivered you from. That's the good news, because even Jeremiah teaches us that God knows the plans for our life, and he plans to give us an expected end. In the English dictionary, going back to the title, the word agony means extreme or prolonged pain and intense or mental suffering. And there is someone that I wanted to talk to this evening, because you are experiencing agony in a way that you never thought you would experience it before. But I came with some good news for you, that agony only leads to your destiny. Because in this particular text tonight, Jesus in this Garden of Gethsemane is arrested in the garden on his way to the cross. Jesus is faced with some challenges, but takes them with the mindset that I can handle this, because the Lord would not put more on me than I can bear. That's a word for somebody tonight in Little Piney Grove, that the things that you are going through, you're only going through them because the Lord knows that you can handle them. The devil will try to convince you that because things are how they are, that you're sinking and you won't make it out of this thing. But I dare somebody up in here to make up in your mind that the Lord has brought me this far, and I know that he won't leave me now. Get bold and look at your situation in the face and tell yourself that I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. And the only thing I know is the fact that if God be for me, who in the world can be against me? You ought to be able to stand on that principle tonight, that if God brought me out of that, then I know God will bring me out of this. If God brought me out of that, then I know he can bring me out of this. If God is bringing me through this, then I know God got something in store for me. And who am I preaching to this evening that can testify? I'm not going to let this thing get to me. I'm not going to let this thing make a mess out of me. But instead, my mess is getting ready to turn into my message. Because I'm getting ready to take this thing that I'm going through, and I'm getting ready to make it bless some other things that I got in my life. I'm not going to let this run me out of the will of God or run me out of the way of God, but I'm getting ready to talk to my situation and tell my situation that it's about to run up out of my life. I'm getting ready to speak to every part of my being and say that I'm running poverty out of my life. I'm running fear out of my life. I'm running laziness and lackadaisicalness out of my life. I'm running inconsistencies out of my life. And truth be told tonight, in the first night of revival, I'm getting ready to run some people out of my life. Because if you don't meet me any good, then there's no reason for you to be in my life. But if I could ever talk to y'all tonight, I tell you that in order to get to going to the destiny that God has for you, you got to learn how to run the agony out of your life. Can I just be real with y'all tonight? Some folk come into your life for a season. And in the words of Medea, we have a problem when we turn seasonal people into lifetime people. You wondering why you going through some stuff that you're going through now? It's because you made some seasonal people some lifetime people, and now they're causing havoc because they're out of season. I don't know about you, but there are some plants that you can't plant in the winter because they're out of season. So there's some people in your life that can't be with you in this season because they're out of season. Check this out. Look at the text. Don't get it twisted. There are some distinctive points in the text that I want to drop, and we can get out of here. Point number one tonight. When destiny is present, agony will surely come. Jesus goes to Golgotha's Hill. And on his way, he's ostracized and ridiculed. He's beaten. They mocked him, spit on him, and had the nerve to whip him again. If it ain't enough, you whipped me once. If it ain't enough, you talked about me once. If it ain't enough, you scandalized my name once. But now you got the audacity to come and beat me again. I'm convinced, Pastor, when people mock you and spit on you, and when they see that you are too strong for it to break you, they will try to hurt you in every which way possible. Has it ever seemed like after you made it through one thing, you were approached with another? You know the old saying, it seems if it ain't one thing, it's another. It's only because of the fact that you made it through everything else. And there was always one more thing that the enemy can try to do to stop or hinder you from getting to your destiny. Notice the text. Jesus in the text never forgot about his destiny in chapter 27 and the promises of God due to the things that he was going through. So I raised the question tonight. How many of us in the sanctuary have forgotten about the promises of God because the provisions of our current situation aren't seen to being met? If God isn't making a way out of no way out of this one, well, then we understand that we won't even make it to the promise that God has for us. But that's what the devil wants you to think. He wants you to think just because you're struggling now, you will struggle always. But the old church used to say the devil is a liar. If God promised it to you, God will see you through. Because Isaiah told me that the word of the Lord shall not return unto him void. It shall accomplish what it set out to accomplish. I wonder if there's anybody in here that knows that old song that said, what God has for me is for me. I know without a doubt that God will bring me out. That's what I'm talking about tonight. You ought to make up in your mind that I'm holding on to the promises of God. No matter what I'm going through, I'm holding on to his promises. Nothing can make me doubt God because I know too much about God. So come hell or high water, I'm still holding on to the promises of God. Come losses or gains, I'm still holding on to the promises of God. Come stresses or struggles, good news, you ought to hold on to the promises of God. And no matter what, I'm still going to hold on. Because God will never lie to me. And I don't know who that's for tonight, but I understand you got some promises that ain't showed up yet. But God is not a liar. So if God promised it to you, you can take it to the bank because God will show up on his promises. I don't know who I'm talking to, but you have to open your mouth and give God a shout of praise. Because you may not have it now, but as long as you got the promises of God, you'll make it. I won't negate the promises because of the agony. Because Jesus endured the talking. He endured the torture. He endured the beating. But no matter what he went through, he still held on to the promise of God. You have to look at your neighbor real quick and say, neighbor, I got a hope and a promise. And that's all I need. So point number one, when destiny is present, agony will show up. Here's my favorite point tonight. Your agony is only temporary. In chapter 27, verse 44 through 50, it talks about Jesus being on the cross. And he cried out, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? And here in the Message Bible, there's some bystanders who heard him. He's calling for Elijah. One of them ran and got a sponge soaked in sour wine and lifted it up on the stick so he could drink it. The others joked him and said, don't be in such a hurry. Let's see if Elijah comes to save them. You got some people in your life that's sitting back joking. They go to church on Sunday. They go to Bible study. They sitting up in revival right now. So their situation, let's see if God comes to save them. But here the late Reverend Timothy Wright penned a song that said, trouble don't last always. Trouble comes to make you stronger. And sometimes the Lord got to send us some trouble in order to get our attention and to get the devil's attention to let him know that God has the last say so. Jesus being on the cross, in the Message Bible says that the time is from noon to 3. And what we got to understand is with the little education I have, there are more hours in a day than from noon to 3. So that means that I've got a whole lot of other hours that God could show up. Can I be real in here today? I'd rather go through a little pain, a few hours, than 24 hours. Jesus stays on the cross and he's between two thieves. And you know, one of them called on the name of the Lord. And I came to tell you tonight, ask you a question. How many situations have you allowed to come into your life to change or cause conflict with your relationship with God? I got financial problems, so my attendance in church changes. I got health problems, so my worship changes. I got relationship drama. This ain't y'all. This church down the street around the corner. I got relationship drama. So all I want to do is stay in the bed. But if you know, like I know, when issues come up in your life, the best thing you can do is increase your worship. You thought I was radical back then, but some trouble came in and you ain't seen nothing yet. You thought I was a praiser back then, but you ain't seen nothing yet. If you knew the stuff that I was going through and the fact that I'm still here today sitting in revival, is there anybody with a testimony tonight? See, what you didn't know is I started not to come to revival, but because I came, I know that the Lord will show up. I know that the Lord will work it out. I know that the Lord will come through. Is there anybody's testimony that God will show up tonight if you learn how to call on him? Can we have a praise break and call on the name of the Lord? Anybody know his name? What's his name? I just wanted to see if you knew it. See, here's what I'm talking about. When you make up in your mind that no matter how much trouble I got going on, that I'm still going through it with power. And I'm still going to rejoice in the fact that God is still good. Let me talk to y'all for a minute. Here it is. I'm almost done. Amen. Give me a couple more amens and I'm good. I praise God for trouble. Because in John chapter 5, there was a man that was lame for 38 years. And he lay by the pool that contained healing power. However, even though the pool contained healing power, it was not activated. Check out the text when you get home. It wasn't activated until the angel came down and troubled the water. The trouble that you're going through is only activating the power that you have. I wish I had a real witness in here who can testify. I didn't know how powerful I was until trouble came my way. Trouble is really what saved me. Trouble is really what kept me. Trouble is what made a way for me. And if it wasn't for the trouble in my life, I may not be sitting up in here today looking as good as I look. But thanks be unto God for the trouble that came in my life. Because one thing is for sure, trouble don't last always. It's just an activator. Somebody shout activator. Activator. For the anointing that God has put on you. Somebody shout, it's temporary. It's temporary. Here's my third point. When destiny is present, agony will come. Second point being, your agony is only temporary. Here's point 3 and I'm done. Power is on the way.
All right. That's right. That's right.
Here it is, y'all. Jesus, in 26 through 28 of Matthew, talks about the beginning of the crucifixion. Jesus is on the cross. He has some horrifying tragedy happen to him. Only for him to finally take his last breath and give up the ghost. And let's set the stage. I thought I knew the crucifixion text for years. I've preached it for 20 years now. Here's the bafflement. Lady Cartwright went to a few years ago that the text jumped out at.
Come on.
In Matthew 27 talks about Jesus on the cross. It baffled me, and I tell this many times, that no matter how much trouble I knew Jesus had to go through, he didn't die till he was ready.
Right.
In verse 35 of chapter 27, they crucified him.
Yes, it is.
But he didn't die to verse 50.
That's right.
It's a 15-verse gap. What that mean to us in here tonight? It means that it ain't over. Until God says it's over. Folk can talk about you. They can lie on you. They can even try to kill you, but it ain't over until God says it's over. Why? 15 verses. My theological insight, I believe that the reason for the 15 verses is because God had to let you know that he still got all power. If Jesus had given up the ghost in verse 35 or 36, then the devil would have thought he won. You're wondering why nothing has happened in your situation yet. It's because God is just allowing some space so the devil will know that he doesn't have the power, but the power belongs to God.
Yes.
The ghost was not taken from Jesus, but the text says he gave up the ghost. It won't take it from him, but he said, no man take of my life, but I lay it down willingly. And it's time for you to give up some things. What are you holding on to that God's trying to give you a release from? You ought to look at somebody and say, neighbor, let it go. Just release it in the name of Jesus. Let me help y'all out tonight. It is revival, right? I'm releasing my pain. I'm releasing my struggle. I'm trading my sorrows. I'm trading my shame. I'm laying it down for the joy of the Lord. Jesus laid it down in 27, but he picked it up in 28. Can I preach to somebody in here as I get ready to go to my seat and let you know that God is ending a chapter in your life and getting ready to bless you with power. Your agony season is over and he's giving you destiny. He's getting ready to give you power, and that's something about the power of God. I raised the question in here, does anybody want the power? We talk about the power, but the power will make me talk right. The power will make me live right. The power will make me speak to mountains, and they got to get out of my way. The power will make me pray right. The power will make me preach right. The power will make me receive right. The power will make me give right. Somebody ought to shout power. In Matthew 28, verse number 18, Jesus said, all power is given unto me, heaven and in earth. Anybody want power? If you want power, you got to make sure Jesus is the center of your life. You got to make sure Jesus is the very thing that you live for. When Jesus comes, there's victory. Can I take it a little further? When he was on the cross, he shed his blood. It's in the blood of Jesus. The old hymnologist said, what can wash away my sins? What can wash away my agony? What can wash away my troubles? What can wash away my stain? Nothing but the blood of Jesus. What can make me whole again? Nothing but the blood of Jesus. Oh, the blood that gives me strength. Check this out, y'all. From day to day, it will never lose its power. I know that's what the hymn writer said, but let me give you my version. Oh, the blood that gives me strength. From second to second, minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day, month to month, week to week, and year to year. It will never lose its power. I want power, and because I came to revival, I came to testify. My agony led to my destiny. If I never had a went through, I wouldn't shout how I shout. If I never had a went through, I wouldn't praise how I praise. If I never would have went through, I wouldn't have the testimony that can't nobody do me like Jesus. The song came earlier. You've had some good days. You've had some bad days. You had some hills to climb. But when you looked around and thought things over, all of your good days, they outweighed your bad days. And there's no need to complain, because your agony is pushing you to your destiny. Is there any witnesses in here that can testify? I've been through some things. I had to fight some battles. I had to cross some valleys, but the Lord was with me. He told me in Psalms, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, because he's walking with me. Is there any witnesses? I've been through agony, but God is still able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all that could happen to me. Is there anybody need to be revived. My agony
Yes.
had me on life support. But I'm telling God tonight, work it out in my life.
Yes.
Work a miracle on me. Change me from the inside out. My agony ain't got no power. But
power.
God,
Yes.
when He lays His hand, God will bring you out. Is there a witness? Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, it had to happen. You had to go through in order to come out.
Yes.
But I'm coming out
Yes.
with my hands lifted up
Yes.
and my mouth filled with praise.
Yes.
Somebody ought to shout, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Won't He do it?
Yes.
Won't He do it?
Yes.
Didn't He do it? Ain't He gonna do it?
Yes.
Shout, yeah.
Yes.
My agony, watch out for me. You thought I was bad back then. My agony shifted my destiny. My agony changed my life.
Yes.
My agony brought me to where I am. And years ago, I wouldn't be sitting in church on a Tuesday night. But look at what the Lord has done.
Yes.
He's worthy of the praise.
Yes.
If you know it, shout yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I know He will. If He did it before, He can do it again. Is there a witness? Look at your neighbor for the last time tonight and say, neighbor, get ready, get ready. Get ready, get ready. What God is getting ready to do, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither has it entered into the hearts of man. What God is getting ready to do, shout yeah. I know He will. I'm a witness. If He brought me out, He'll bring me through. If He did it before, He'll do it again.
Yes.
Is there a witness?
Yes.
Can't nobody
Nobody.
do me like Jesus.
Yes.
He'll hold me. He'll rock me. He'll put a shield over me.
Yes.
When the enemy comes in, He'll lift up a standard.
Yes, He will.
I'm so glad. Watch out. I belong to God. You have to look at your trouble, look at your trials, and say, excuse me, you got the wrong person.
got the wrong
I belong to
one.
God,
Yes.
and He's my daddy. He gonna provide for me. He gonna fix it for me. He gonna work it out for me. Do you believe it? Do you need a witness?
Yes.
Come here, Job. Job went through. Said, I look to the left and I don't see God. I look to the right and God's not over there. I looked behind me and couldn't find Him. I looked in front of me and He was nowhere there. But I heard the Lord, stop looking around you and look inside of you. He's on the inside. Something on the inside is working on the outside. And oh, what a change in my life. Shout yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's revival. There's a stirring. He's going to stir up the gifts. There's a shaking. In Acts chapter 16, there was an earthquake. And Paul and Silas were locked up. But when he shook the ground, the jail cell opened. God's getting ready to free you from everything that you're going